Welcome everyone to the Mansion of Madness, a place where a Malkavian, the craziest, most insane vampires, hold sway. This is their domain, and this is the Primogen's domain, so who knows what we'll find within. Already we have been accosted by an insane person. Hello, potentially insane people. Are you all insane? Do I need a blood shield? Yes, I do. Here we go. Ow, you did aggravated damage. This is annoying to me. I'm now going to beat you to death. You. Give me your blood. Give unto me your blood. The blood, it calls to me, and your blood in particular, it comes. Oh, yes. Now, if we try to go to the left there, we can't, but we can listen to this.
It is quite peculiar, the happenings I've been made to witness for my supernatural longevity. I am thinking of one unfortunate phenomenon in particular, of unique interest to my station, both as a professional and as a sufferer of this vampiric condition. It seems the stream of time has begun to erode the moorings of my chosen course of study, for the methodologies that gave birth to psychology are slowly disappearing. I find myself in an era that overlooks the physical component of psychological pathology time and again in favor of the sophistic practices of Freud. Phrenology, dactopintilism, and the rest of the old guard has fallen by the wayside, its champions all silenced in death, with my unique exception. Would that I could make my voice heard again, although it may be suspicious should I return to popular medical discourse 50 years after my apparent death. No, better that I continue my studies into the psychoses in secret. One day, may I hold up my own cure as validation of the methods. I am confident no cure for my condition, or that of my beloved wife, lies within our figurative minds, waiting to be unlocked by the correct combination of memories recovered from our childhoods. And I'm most certain it has nothing to do with the relationship between myself, my parents, and my genitals. Sorry, Sigmund, but I choose to stay my course. In time, too, may your star fade and disappear.
Grout. The word of Grout. The Primogen. Let me see, did I miss another one? Oh, that's nice. A bunch of clocks. How pleasant. No, I didn't miss any. Nope. Okay. Yeah, welcome everyone to the Mansion of Madness. Very similar to the Winchester Mystery House. I think I said that last time. If you don't know the story of the Winchester Mystery House, I would 100% recommend that you go and discover its secrets. Anyway. Any other notes or secrets or pathologies? Perception at once shapes the mind and rules over time. Time, however, erodes human perception and then in turn warps the mind. The mind is capricious, having various effects on perception, time, and the mind itself. With harmony, progress is made. Let me see.
Another unfortunate casualty to tide of time, insane asylums. I lament their loss not only as brokerage houses for the breadth and depth of human psychoses, but also I shall mourn the disappearance of that peculiar environment present only in an insane asylum. That palpable atmosphere of blistered brains and churning bowels, the odoriferous melange of freely flowing bodily humors, that gently rolling cacophony of distant sobs and screams, the muttered cursing at perceived enemies, and the blissful gurgling of the lobotomized, like a newborn babe discovering the sky. I shall still find test subjects as surely as I find bloody sustenance in the night, but this climate, I fear, may never be replicated.
Grout's a little crazy. Who knows how crazy he's been since before. So we picked up an item there. We picked up the Weekapog Thistle. Petrified Reed was not meant to fall into the hands of the damned, but vampires can still benefit from its shamanistic magic all the same. Increased defense by 1 point. Very, very helpful. Meanwhile, Grout has been disgustingly... What? Oh, there we go. Disgustingly experimenting on those he capture. Game. Perhaps foolishly, I forgot immediately where I was heading. But don't worry, and I now remember. I remember exactly where I am heading, and the blood, ooh, it calls. The insane are just as tasty as the sane. Oh yes, you had your chance. Oh, no. These people would attack me, and perhaps I am even freeing them from the horror that was Alistair Grout. Oh yes. Call me... merciful. Oh yes. Don't get any ideas, my dear. Alas, I am far too powerful for any of these mortals to actually affect me. Thank you for the blood. I will treasure it. Interesting. A stairwell to nothing and nowhere. Maybe I can go this way. Nope. 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 Where am I going? Is there a lever somewhere? Is there something? Ah, yes. A lantern. Or not a lantern, a candle. Candlestick, in fact. It's like a lantern. You killed him. And now you die yourself. But in death, I bring you freedom. Sure, that was pleasant for you. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh no, he's coming to get me. He's coming to get me. Well, that didn't work out for you, did it? No, mortals have no way to stop me now. Not at all. Ooh, lore.
Often I reflect with great regret on the missed opportunity that was my infector. Had I been conscious after the attack, I could have stopped the orderlies from locking her in the roaming pen. What I would give for just one interview, a few simple questions of the plague-ridden woman who met her end that dawn. Of course, there is no guarantee she would have been any more helpful than my current crop of test subjects, mewling wretches. Few could be called enthusiastic. Given the nature of the tests, I cannot expect the same fervor from all, but a modicum of cooperation would be appreciated. Animals. The one called John went so far as to gnaw off his arm and escape into the floorboards like some feral rodent. I still hear him scurrying about at night. He must be making an atrocious mess.
Holy moly, Grout. You are awful. Los Angeles Times or Los Angeles Daily. I can't tell what that says. Different newspaper clippings, different things from the state of California to one Grout. Interesting. Are you dead? Yeah, you're pretty fucking dead, aren't you? You're having a good old time. Ooh, who's this?
My studies proceed at a languid pace. I'm mired in a foul ennui as my wife's illness advances. My subjects grow restless without proper supervision, but I cannot pull myself back from this black depression. How many nights I've wasted now, gazing from the tower walk, pondering the frailty of existence.
Even you fall into a black depression, huh, Grout? We'll see what you can do later on. Perhaps we will have to deal with Grout ourselves. His insanity has caused quite the suffering of many people. Ooh, we can see out onto the city proper, including LaCroix Tower. And more simply, the hills of LA. This is a hell of a manor. But who knows what Nines Rodriguez was doing here? The music here is very good. Very creepy, very interesting. Hello, my dear. Give me your blood. Thank you very much for your donation to my charity. And by my charity, I mean my blood veins. I am sorry, of course. It's just that I'm a vampire.
Hey, hold it.
No. Hey, stop right there. Come on, if you think you're hard enough. Purge. And theft. Thank you very much for your donation. Do you seem worse for the wear, so I shall simply allow you onward. Ooh, whoops, that is my mistake, my dear. Begone from this mortal plane, if you would be so kind. Thank you very much. Ah, yes. Ah, that's disgusting. Yes, the suffering of many have occurred here, and I am simply a merciful benefactor bringing them peace. That's what I'm going to tell myself, of course, as I rip my way through all of them. I'm a Tremere, and unfortunately can only show so much mercy.
After decades of solitary study into this affliction, I have learned that it is by no means mine alone. Indeed, the city is home to an entire society of similarly afflicted individuals with whom I've only recently made contact. They are an understandably standoffish sort, by and large, but I have been able to confirm with them that the condition is indeed vampirism, which apparently comes in a multitude of strains, each with a spectacular set of symptoms such as invisibility and even a sort of lycanthropy. Through numerous official interactions with the governing body of this secret society, I have concluded that their fundamental understanding of the vampiric condition is woefully lacking and mired in suspicion and pseudo-religious dogma that would make a Turk balk for its strictures. Indeed, they seemed impressed with my studies and the eloquence with which I was able to present them. Apparently, the typical sufferer of my particular strain of vampirism is far from the vanguard of the King's English. So impressed were they that they even offered me an office in their government, a rather high office by the sound of things. I believe I shall accept. If nothing else, it should provide a lofty vantage point from which to observe the breadth and epidemiology of the affliction, so that I may move more expeditiously toward a cure.
Toward a cure. To see what lies beyond. But there are still women in that side, and how could that be? Except for a false wall. Am I still blood? No, I am not blood shielded any longer. I do believe I don't need it at all. Ah, the blood of the mad. I wonder if this tastes particularly calamitous. I suppose Grout would know better than any.
Freeze!
Freeze, he says. Ow. That was very rude of you. And now I'm going to steal all of your blood. I hope you don't mind. It's just that you tried to kill me. And I here am probably... Well, I was probably going to attempt to murder you anyway. But what can I say? I am in a largely... in a largely hostile environment, let's say. Ooh, this looks interesting. Chaos, like the mind, can be understood only through the scientific process. Order, however, is only as good as the perception thereof. Time is the key that links the two and bears witness to their ebb and flow.
I have accepted the role of Primogen for Clan Malkavian, the dreadfully winsome label applied to the particular strain of vampirism I suffer, so named for some supposed vampire father figure of old, or poppycock grown from a backward culture that seems interminably drawn to children's tales and the fiction of Victorian romance, when it should concern itself with the science behind their suffering. No matter, for I have taken this office for no greater reason than to advance my research. I must make mention, however, that even among my would-be peers in this governing body of vampires, the level of paranoia and superstition is frightening. Their intelligence is not the question, no, indeed. As they courted me for this appointment, I had to suspect that their overtures were hand-tailored to what must be my obvious infatuation with reason, for the devil would do well to have such honey-tongued tempters. Even so, I could not help but notice the dressing of language these vampire leaders chose for their siren song. Whether it is born of habit, from addressing their unwashed, ill-educated subjects, or from their own deep-seated beliefs, their linguistic flourishes belie a faith in superstition over the providence of empirical reason that must be an all-pervasive theme in this society of darkest night. Damn it all, now I'm doing it too.
Oh, Grout. Grout is such an interesting figure. He has caused obvious suffering, but it is from his own definitive madness. Ooh, let us see what lies beyond. Oh, into a dungeon, I see. Ooh. Now I may move forward. This man has some fascination with electricity in the mind. A mad psychiatrist, as it were. Though I think he does not use such a term for himself any longer, but a psychologist, which is interesting. Whatever that means, he's a studier of the mind, and not so much a pleasant one. Okay, let me see. Is it this way? Yeah. It's this door, right? I'm not crazy. Yes. Excellent. We move into the next stage of this mansion of madness. I'm waxing lyrical a little too much, but here we are. Steal that guy's blood because fuck him.
As I expand my dealings with the vampire government, I have encountered a disturbing new symptom of this affliction. Frequently, in conversation, I will hear voices emanating from other vampires, voices that are not their own, but which seem to have insight into their lives beyond what I could gather from simple conversation. These voices seem to echo from deep within my fellow vampires, and I cannot be certain if this symptom belongs to my strain of Veolus or theirs, for the voices are various and inconsistent. I dare not mention this symptom to my vampiric peers, for they have proven themselves true predators to whom I could be loath to reveal any sign of weakness. Indeed, these voices have counseled me against confessing their presence, and until I can confirm their source, I will listen. The information the voices have given me ranges from curious to frightening. The latter case is especially true of one powerful vampire whose name I shall not commit to recording in the interests of self-preservation.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Perhaps he is speaking as the prince. Ow. Do you mind? I am waiting for your friend's blood. Thank you for your cooperation. Now I will simply move on through here. Ow. Okay. This is, of course, extremely frustrating on my part. Please be blood purged. Thank you very much. Okay, you need to stop. And by stop. Alright, you're all being extremely unhelpful. So I blood purge you. You, give me your blood. Thank you very much. You lot be blood purged again. And perish from it, I think. Yes? No? Maybe? Nope. What about one more time? Yes, I think so. They turned into blood piles. I'm not entirely certain how that works, but this one survived. And that is very, very helpful for me because I need the blood. Ooh, I am a vampire magician after all. I'm looking around for other things I may have missed because I actually forgot about that magical item. that we found earlier, so I'm just making sure to get everything in here. Yes, good. Seems I have achieved everything I need to. I also butchered them, which is, of course, unfortunate for them. We got a bunch of blood packs. Very, very helpful. Onwards and downwards into the pit of this wretched place. No. Ooh, how interesting. You are not strong enough to stop me. Oh, you are strong enough to stop me. Alas, you are not powerful enough to stop me. Here, let me get under this thing. Thank you. Excuse-moi. Okay, if I go in there, I will have an epileptic seizure. I have no intention of going in such a place. Ooh, lockpicking place. Lockpicking is okay. We'll need to blood buff for it, but that's fine. Our blood buff lasts longer, too. Twice as long, in fact. Ooh. A pistol. Some bullets. The mind is a maze, and all mazes challenge the mind. In the labyrinth beyond this door, reactions of test subjects to the weirdest of environments can be studied using my special powers. Interesting. A maze, perhaps? Perhaps this is added by the plus patch. I'm not actually sure. I don't remember doing this part. Oh no, I remember this part now. Interesting. I can't go inside. There we go. Interesting. A maze of the mind, perhaps? But not that way. Interesting. I remember all of this now. Let me see here. What a weird Malkavian offers me money to solve this maze. So corridors are sideways and full of blood. Should this scare me? Only battling against his crazy ghouls does. These notes help me not to get lost. Interesting. Am I free already? No, I think not. No, I think not at all. Unfortunately for the Malkavian's maze, I am rather mighty myself. No. I would, of course, rather you did not think yourself strong enough. Things hanging upside down, not bad for a personal theme park. Sadly, also a dead end, and that last fight made me weak. I'll have to check the other closed doors nearby. An interesting place. An interesting place indeed. Ooh, what do we have here? Ah! Sunlight, if false, still burns. Wow, something looking like deep daylight so deep underground and during the night. You're not fooling Kent Allen Ryan, Doctor. Let's test this cheap illusion, show me. Ah, so this is what happened to Kent, Fascinating. And yet it burns almost like sunlight. So that's what happened to Kent Allen Ryan, He fell into this horrific curse, did he? I wonder, is there... Ah, a note I missed. Jamie Guthrie? Wasn't that the name of the blonde, thin blood who I met at the club confession some years ago before Patty gate crashed? Hector Espinosa, Jamie Guthrie. See books. Interesting. Brock Hines, Chris Ashton, David Marsh. That's also the name of another, isn't it? So now we know what happened to Kent. We must brave the sunlight to open the door. It burns us. Aren't you the doctor I saw? You look very similar to the doctor I saw in the clinic in Santa Monica. That one looked very similar to Vandal. Interesting. Perhaps Grout's been watching me. Are these the people from before, or are they simply the same character model? Let's find out. Alright, let me through. There we go. Somehow I suspect that Kent Allen Ryan is no more, but instead burned away to nothing. Grout is insane. Which is not unsurprising. Slashed paintings, one and all. Interesting. Oh, what a strange and wonderful place. Well, perhaps not wonderful. Morphine bottle. You're trying to scare the wrong type of being, you know. I am, after all, a vampire. They've all moved. How delightful. How delightful. Do I leave once more? What is this? I hear it. Odd. Strange. Fascinating, Grout. Fascinating. Bloodtheft just makes a mockery of these guys. They simply can do nothing against me whenever I just take all their blood. Morphine bottle. Nights go by. Nights here without the taste of the Master's blood. His terrible gaze, the sight of the pale moon in the sky. I'm lost, trapped here by the Master. Once his host, loyal servant, but now the victim of his growing mistrust and fractured surface of his paranoia, hearing the screams beyond these walls. Something has happened, something unnameable. The beginnings of a harrowing madness that I surely will not survive, I believe would have been his last words. And one last church. Famous doctor dies in accident. 28th of February 1925, the unrecognizable corpse of renowned shrink Dr. Alistair Grout was found in his burning car as it crashed in the Hollywood Hills today. Strange murals, I should say. Yes, I think Kent Allen Ryan met his end in this place. And yet here we are, close at hand to the end of this journey.
I am no longer safe. I know it. The voices have proven themselves authentic, and I have withdrawn from the Vampire Society entirely. My absence will no doubt draw attention, but I could no longer hold my fragile composure around the ravenous eyes of my vampire peers, especially not around him. The voices compelled me to make what I fear is a Faustian bargain, but I had to, for their demands are constant and merciless. I have secluded myself within the mansion. I know he will strike out at me. He will go to any length to achieve his ambitions, and he knows it, I know. I have taken precautions to protect my beloved wife. A cure will have to wait until our immediate safety is guaranteed. The mansion was constructed with security in mind, but at that time I was not privy to the full range of vampire capabilities. The voices echo in the twisted corridors of my psyche, dark whisperings of a macabre and formless menace, the approach of which portends an end to all of this.
Gehenna, perhaps? Who could say?
Hey, stop.
Yes. Methinks this is the end of Kent Allen Ryan.
The voices have increased in frequency and direction of late. They have begun to stay with me long after conversation has ceased and are serving as quite a distraction. I fear others are beginning to notice my preoccupation at the vampire gatherings. I am thinking again of the particular vampire of whom I spoke previously, who I dare not name for my growing fear. If the voices are to be believed, then my caution is warranted, for they speak of his blackest crimes, both past and future. More than once, I have seen the suspicion in his eyes and heard the distrust in his voice when speaking with me. The fear must register on my face, as it is all I can do in these moments to keep from crying out in chorus with the voices.
With the voices. Now, before we head down, let us head back up and see. Can we enter this door? We can, and here she is, his beloved wife. A clock. Picture. A rose. Not sure what that is. That's some kind of stuffed animal. Onward to the end of this journey. Let us quick save. Thank you, miss. Yes, thank you indeed. Interesting. Seems Grout's demise is assured, but what, in fact, was that sound? It's almost like he was tortured. Before we find out about that. Not Grout, you already killed him.
Grout is dead? Pity it could not be by my hand. No matter. Soon your self-made kings and false prophets and all who bear the mark of the beast will be washed from the earth for the coming of the Lord.
Who the hell are you?
As you burn, tell them it was Grünfeld Bach who sent your damned soul to that lake of fire. All agents of Satan shall return to whence they came. Let this righteous display serve as a promise to all who serve the Archfiend Lacroix. I'm coming for you, Lacroix. By the power of the Lord, I will cleanse your black soul.
Yeah, whatever. Yep, as you glitch on out of here. Oh, that guy is on fire. Interesting. Can I go back the way I came? No, I cannot. I have little choice but to jump. Don't have any Don't get any juicy ideas there, my friend. You are on fire, and therefore a little more than blood to me. Enough of these distractions. This is unfortunate. Purge the blood, remove it from my person. You are nothing more than flames and ash. Be gone. Ow! That hurt quite a lot. And this frustrates me. Did he just launch into the stratosphere? Did anyone else see that? He's trying to burn me with grout and his madness. I cannot allow it. I must escape no matter what. Don't even bother, pal. Ugh. Every time they must set me aflame. Excusez-moi. Actually, give me a little bit of the blood. Thank you very much, my friend. How deeply helpful of you. Yeah, let's just mosey on out here. The fire may engulf it. Ooh, that was me. That was pretty fucking cool. May fire devour all that was once Alistair Grout. Yes. And cause the suffering to end. All the horrific suffering caused by Alistair Grout to end. Let's go back to LaCroix. We need to. Perhaps we'll unlock certain things for us. That would be very, very helpful indeed. I would love to get a new haven, because my current haven is in Santa Monica and is, of course, a crap hole. Hey, Junk.
Evening there. Something burning? Ooh, smells like someone burnt the burgers.
Yeah, something like that. Never mind that. I got to see LaCroix.
Sure, I'll open her up for you. Jeez, I could go for one of them double-spaced burgers with the onions and the cheese and some bacon and a guacamole. Ooh.
Guacamole? It's guacamole there, Chunk. Chunk, you just keep doing the Lord's work over there, buddy. Just keep on doing it. Hell yeah. Hello, LaCroix.
The Primogens still haven't been contacted by Grout. I thought I made it clear that you were not supposed to come back until we had heard from him.
Well, Grout's dead.
Grout's dead? What?
Yeah, and this guy Box set his house on fire, nearly killed me. Who's Bach? He tried to burn me up and he really hates you.
Bach! Every time I think he's lost the scent. So, Bach killed Grout to draw me out.
Seemed like Grout was already dead when he arrived.
Bach is a hunter. They stalk and kill our kind to appease their god. But like many mortals, their so-called faith is nothing but a conduit through which they quench their killing urge. Who else would have killed Grout?
On the way in, I saw Nines Rodriguez leaving the mansion.
Look at me. Are you sure it was Nines Rodriguez? Because if it was, the consequences... Do you know where this might lead? Do you really have any idea?
This may mean war with the Anarchs, is that right?
It means, under most circumstances, I would call a blood hunt on the murderer immediately. However, the Anarchs of this city may interpret such an action to be a declaration of war. I do not want a war with them. This decision will take some time. I need to confer with the Primogen on this. In the meantime, I've come to a decision on the Ankaran sarcophagus, and I believe that for the safety of the inhabitants of this city, We need to place the sarcophagus under Camarilla protection until its contents can be confirmed. You're becoming quite indispensable to me. So, out of all my available personnel, I'm going to entrust the retrieval of the sarcophagus to you. It was quietly delivered to the Museum of Natural History a few hours ago.
I'll go at once.
The manifest from the Dane shows there was a small box from the same dig on board, but it was listed as missing. Keep an eye open for it. It may have been overlooked. It's crucial we get the sarcophagus in our possession within the next few hours.
All these tasks have left me a little short on cash.
Yes, of course. Here. I can't have one of my representatives running around ill-equipped for their task.
So what do I do now?
Here are the keys to the front door of the museum. The sarcophagus should be in an examination room of some sort. There's a small security staff on site, but I don't want a massacre. Mortals are just as easy to deceive as they are to kill.
Isn't that the truth? I'm ready to go, but I had a few questions first.
One or two, but that's all.
How does Bach know you?
My history with that family dates back to Bach's grandfather, who pursued me into Africa, where I killed him. Bach's father tracked me to London to meet his death. And now Bach and the Society of Leopold have followed me across America. They never learn.
What's a blood hunt?
A blood hunt is a death sentence. When one commits a high crime against our society, a blood hunt may be called. It is then the responsibility of the city's kindred to bring the offender final death.
I see, I'm ready to go to the museum now.
There is a degree of immediacy attached to this task. Work fast. And, as on the Dane, you are not to open the Ankaran sarcophagus for any reason. Excuse me.
Interesting indeed. Many things are at work, many moving pieces, and I wonder who, if LaCroix is indeed the one Grout was worried about, who did he have kill Grout? Or is Grout dead after all? For being that old should not have immediately turned to ash. And he said he made preparations. I wonder if they were enough. Anyway, welcome back to downtown LA, everyone. We have survived the Mansion of Madness. It looks like Kent Allen Ryan did not, however. Neither did many other vampires who came to this place. Otherwise, however, let's see if we got some money.
Money, right? Been a while. Your money's been piling up. Here, that should provide for an interesting evening.
Oh, thanks. Keep it coming, Venus. Keep it coming. We're looking pretty good. We got plenty of blood bags. We got other stuff we can sell. We got plenty of money. We got a ghoul who's waiting for us. It's all coming up. Whoever the hell we are. What did I name us? Paxton? Something like that. It's all coming up, Paxton. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I want to save it for Blood Boil. I don't think I really need to save up for any other points right now, so I can just go all the way to Blood Boil, baby. Even though I think Blood Boil is basically blood theft with no return. It insta-kills an enemy, and in most cases, it's really good against supernaturals, which I'm going to need it against, a lot. Now, Pisha also wanted us to check out the museum, but before we do that, let's go to the last round. Actually, better yet, let's go talk to Strauss, and then we'll go talk to the people at the last round. I'm sure they'll be very interested to know that we told everyone that Nines Rodriguez may have killed Grout, or they don't immediately turn me to ash. Just more dangers and risks to be, and hoops.
Hello, neonate. How can I be of assistance?
You have a few minutes to talk.
Of course. What is it you... No more than yourself. I do not know. I was...
Seems like he doesn't have anything else to say right now, which is fine, of course. I'm kind of surprised. Perhaps he'll have more to say after we have got the Ankaran sarcophagus for LaCroix. he will perhaps have more information and perhaps more quests for us. That would be very, very nice. If we could talk to him more. Let me see. Excuse me, good sir. I have no reason to kill any of you. To the last round. Now, the last round will probably be where we call it. This is already a long-ass episode, thanks to going through the Mansion of Madness. But I thank you all so much for watching. This has been Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.